Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News.
Now at 6:30, a Danville business owner is behind bars facing attempted murder and drunk charges. We have a full report coming up. Plus, 20 years ago, a man was shot and killed by a Lexington police officer. How his family is honoring his legacy. And a group of friends are remembering a Pulaski County woman and trying to prevent another death from happening. We have these stories and more, plus breaking news as it happens, coming up on WKYT this morning. Good morning to you if you are just joining us on this Saturday. I'm Whitney Wetzel.
And I'm Mike Linden. We get our weekend kicked off with some beautiful weather, and it looks like it should hang with us right into our Sunday as well. Temperatures are cool this morning in the mid to high 40s, so if you are heading out a little earlier to get your weekend started, bring that jacket with you. It is a little cool out there. Otherwise, you're really not going to see much from the skies today, and First Alert Defender not really showing us much from the clouds that are out there right now. So your high right around 68 degrees, breezy and mild for you. So we'll be nearing on the 70s, and if you're heading to the football game today at Commonwealth, bring a jacket with you. Should be a little breezy for kickoff right around 3:30. But in about 10 minutes, here's what I'll be talking about. Not only your Saturday, but your Sunday is looking just great. A weekend to get out there and check out the fall colors, but a big time cool down arrives next week in time for Halloween. I'll be back in just a few minutes to take you hour by hour and take a look at how cold it should be by next Friday.
Thank you. New this morning, Danville police say a Boyle County businessman is behind bars facing both attempted murder and drunk possession charges after a fight late last night. WKYT's Mark Barber is at our live desk with the latest on this shooting.
Police say the owner of Jerry's Body Shop shot a man at his Danville business just before 11 o'clock last night. According to police, Jerry Matthews pulled a gun on a customer, Ricky Cole, while they were fighting at the body shop. At this time, investigators aren't saying what led to the shooting. We're told Cole was flown to UK hospital with a gunshot wound to his abdomen, and police say he is now in stable condition. Investigators tell us Matthews was disarmed and arrested by officers at the scene. Danville police tell me that along with attempted murder, Matthews is also facing cocaine possession and drug paraphernalia charges. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
He was an athlete and just last week named a homecoming prince, but authorities say that 14-year-old freshman went on a shooting rampage at his high school. It happened yesterday afternoon at a school in Marysville, Washington, just outside of Seattle. Police say the gunman killed one student and injured 4 others before turning the gun on himself. At this point, police have not determined a motive for the shooting. 20 years later, they say they still feel the loss. The family of a young Lexington man killed in a police-involved shooting paid tribute to him last night. 18-year-old Tony Sullivan was shot to death by a Lexington police sergeant in 1994. That sergeant told investigators the shooting was accidental. When a grand jury chose not to indict that Lexington sergeant who shot Sullivan, angry mobs stormed into downtown Lexington.
These kids now, they have to understand that these things aren't easy to deal with.
The Sullivans say they get together to remember Tony every year on or near the anniversary for the last 20 years. A judge has sentenced a Madison County man to 35 years in prison for killing his great-grandmother. William Tribble pleaded guilty to murder earlier this month. He admitted to killing 78-year-old Joanne Tribble in 2008 at her Richmond home. Police say William Tribble beat her with a hammer. He was 17 at the time, but police charged him as an adult when they arrested him in 2012. He'll be eligible for parole after 20 years. Last night, friends of a Pulaski County woman gathered to remember her life. Police say Monica Wells was killed by her boyfriend. He's now charged with murder. Friends say Wells would have been 35 yesterday. They gathered in Fountain Square to release balloons with messages for her. They say their memorial isn't just for Monica, but all victims of domestic abuse.
Not only are we looking for justice for Monica, but we're trying to give hope to other women who are in this situation before it's too late.
A fund has been set up to help pay for Wells' funeral. Donations can be made at Southern Oaks Funeral Home in Somerset. A trial date has been set for two men charged in connection to the kidnapping and murder of a Lexington man. A judge says the trial for Mark Taylor and Timothy Ballard will begin October 5th of next year. Attorneys expect the trial to last up to 6 weeks. Police charge Taylor with murder and kidnapping. He could receive the death penalty if convicted. Police charge Ballard with kidnapping and evidence tampering. Investigators say the victim, Alex Johnson, was beaten to death last December. His body was found in the Kentucky River. Lexington twins, indicted on several charges of child pornography and sexual abuse, returned to court yesterday. Jack and Jerry Cassidy were arraigned on 17 new charges in Fayette County Circuit Court. Police say the sexual abuse dates back to the 1970s when the Cassidy brothers were Boy Scout troop leaders. The case surfaced 2 months ago when police tell us they found child pornography in their home in Lexington. The Cassidy brothers are set to appear in court for a pretrial conference on November 6th. Lexington police are searching for 3 men in connection with an attempted home invasion. It happened around 11:45 Thursday night across from UK Hospital. We're told 5 men were in an apartment on Gazette Avenue. 2 of them left and then came back with guns and another man with plans to steal drugs in the apartment. Investigators say the men struggled at the door, breaking the gun, but were not able to get inside. One student who lives in the apartment complex says this neighborhood is usually pretty safe.
It's not what I expect to hear, especially around this kind of area. I mean, we're right off campus. It's not expected, but you know, I can kind of get surprised by things going on nowadays. But I just really hope that either they get evicted or something's done, because I don't want them around me.
Police arrested the victims, Samuel McKinley and Dwight Covington. The 2 19-year-olds are charged with drug trafficking. A Southern Kentucky inmate was beaten while in custody, and this morning investigators say 2 Knox County deputy jailers are responsible. A grand jury indicted the deputy jailers for criminal abuse, among other charges. WKYT's Phil Pendleton talked to investigators about the case.
Tammy Spicer had just arrived at the Harlan County Jail from the Knox County lockup when police say jail staff knew something wasn't right.
As soon as the inmate arrived, it was pretty clear that she had been assaulted.
Spicer, who had faced various drug offenses and one of resisting arrest, was badly injured. She was taken to the hospital and state police launched an investigation. It resulted in the Knox County Chief Deputy Sheila Brown and Deputy Jennifer Ross being indicted.
We can't go into the exact specifics of the case. However, we know that an assault took place and it led to indictments today of 2 jailers being arrested.
The criminal abuse allegation states that these 2 women used either torture, cruel confinement, or cruel punishment as they inflicted these serious injuries on the inmate. Brown and Ross are also facing charges of assault 4th and official misconduct.
There's no excuse for an inmate to be assaulted or have any type of injuries while in jail.
Spicer remains in the Harlan County Jail, where she's listed as a state inmate. Both Brown and Ross have been placed on administrative leave, but signed a surety bond to remain out of jail themselves.
We take that very seriously, and we're going to investigate no matter what detention center it is.
The Knox County jailer said she did not want to comment on the allegations against her employees. In Knox County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
The indictments also state the injuries happened while Spicer was physically helpless at the time. Police say that was based on how she was confined when the alleged abuse happened. Some people in Franklin County may have to wait a little longer than they expected to get a flu shot. Right now, the county's health department is running low on supplies of the vaccine. Last year, the health department ordered 65,000 shots. This year, they only ordered a fraction of that, and so far, not many have arrived. Officials say a complete supply of flu vaccine should arrive by Thanksgiving. A drive-through flu shot clinic will be held next Thursday from 5:30 until 7:30 at Commonwealth Credit Union on Sauer Boulevard. For more information, just go to WKYT.com. There are just 10 days left before the 2014 midterm elections, and Kentucky Senate candidates are ramping up their campaigns. Senator Mitch McConnell plans to attend a festival in Beattyville before continuing a statewide bus tour with some of Kentucky's Republican congressmen on Monday. Meanwhile, Allison Lundergan Grimes finished up a Central Kentucky bus tour in Madison County last night. Her campaign has not released any details on her plans for the next week. Congressman Andy Barr and challenger Elizabeth Jensen will square off again Monday night for their second and last congressional debate. The debate will take place at EKU Center for the Arts at 7. Jensen and Barr went head-to-head last Monday on KET. The Affordable Care Act was a big topic in that debate. You'll be able to watch this one live on the CW Lexington. WKYT's own Bill Bryant will moderate that debate. It is 6:41, and still to come on WKYT this morning, a new national initiative has a way to let kids with allergies participate in Halloween this year. We have that story up next.
And the weather's looking pretty good for this weekend, but what does that mean for Halloween less than a week away? I'll show you a big cool down that I'm tracking coming up.